Why Sagittarius begins the journey of self-discovery after age 45. Have you ever felt? Even after going so far, touching countless skies, embracing burning desires, there's still something quietly urging you to stop, not to rest, but to find yourself again? If you are a Sagittarius and have crossed the age of 45, this video is for you. In astrology, Sagittarius is the child of fire and freedom. Those born under the Archer's symbol always carry within them an untiring adventurous heart, a soul craving to explore the world, and an unshakable belief that the meaning of life lies ahead, somewhere far away. But after age 45, something changes. It's not that you lose your desire. It's that the desire rises to a deeper level, the level of spirit, of truth, and of soul mission. In this video, I will share with you the astrological secret behind the strange awakening of Sagittarius after the age of 45. The reason why the universe has designed your adventurous path to exist not only out there, but also within. And why, at this very stage, you begin to understand that true freedom is not about going far, but about looking deeply into yourself. If you are ready, write this in the comments below. I am ready to begin my spiritual journey. It is not just a declaration. It is how you greet the universe, which has long been waiting for you to awaken. Let's go back a little. The journey of Sagittarius did not begin with deep questions, but with the desire to leave. In the early years, especially from the 20s to the late 30s, Sagittarius is the embodiment of fire. The flame of this third fire sign in the zodiac never simmers. It always blazes, bursts, and cannot be contained. Sagittarius cannot stand confinement. They always feel they belong to a distant place, where no one has ever stepped, where limits are broken, where the soul can fly. All of Sagittarius energy in this period turns outward. They want to learn, to explore, to experience every culture, every belief, every land. They are wanderers of the soul, from real life to the world of knowledge and spirit. And during this time, Jupiter, the ruling planet of Sagittarius, exerts its full power. Jupiter brings luck, expansion, knowledge, life philosophy, and optimism. This is why Sagittarius is often loved, trusted, and always finds opportunities wherever they go. They try many careers. They dive into many relationships. They keep moving, keep going, always carrying a radiant smile and shining eyes as if life is an endless journey. But there is one thing Sagittarius doesn't realize when they are young. That they are always searching for something they themselves cannot name. Freedom, yes. Experience, true. But above all, what their heart truly longs for is harmony with their own soul. In youth, Sagittarius turns outward. They walk toward the world. But the world, no matter how vast, cannot answer the question that only lies within them. And so, Sagittarius youth is necessary. To live, to learn, to experience. Until a moment comes, around age 45, they begin to hear the voice within. That is where this video continues. And you will understand why Saturn, the planet of karma and maturity, begins to speak to you just as you pass the age of 44. There is a phenomenon that happens to most people around the ages of 44 to 46. In astrology, that is when Saturn completes its first return to the position it occupied in your birth chart when you were born. That moment is not an ending, but a turning point of destiny. For Sagittarius, this moment is especially profound. While other signs may experience it as a midlife crisis, Sagittarius, who spent their youth conquering the world, begins to have a conversation with themselves. You've gone so far. You've lived to the fullest. You've chased the light out there. But now, a question rises like a crack in the mirror reflecting your life. Who am I when I'm no longer running? What is the true truth that I must hold? not what I was taught to believe. Saturn's powerful presence now is not here to limit you, but to help you listen. And what you hear is no longer the noise of the world, but the whisper of your soul. Sagittarius after 45 often begins to feel no longer craving more, but longing to understand deeper. No longer rushing to prove themselves, but focusing on inner truth. No longer escaping solitude, but finding the sacred in stillness. This is when your birth chart begins shifting its focus from the 9th house, the house of learning and exploration, to the 12th house, the house of soul purification, healing, and rebirth. It is also when Jupiter within you no longer leads you down sunlit paths, but begins to guide you into the caves of your own being, where the spiritual treasures long forgotten await. You may begin to care about meditation, or find yourself strangely drawn to mystical topics like tarot, astrology, chakras, and soul purpose. You may dream more, and those dreams seem to carry messages. You may find yourself withdrawing from crowds, not out of sadness, but because you want to listen to the sacred voice calling your name. And that is not a rejection of life. It is an elevation. Sagittarius, when they have fully experienced the material world, steps into the metaphysical phase, where they connect with God, with the universe, with themselves. This is a turning point, not because you are growing old, but because your soul is finally ready to grow up. You know? Not everyone has the chance to awaken spiritually. Not everyone has the courage to stop and listen to the true voice within. But for Sagittarius, after the age of 45, it is no longer a choice, but a calling. A gentle yet powerful whisper from the universe itself. O bearer of light, now is the time for you to go within and find the treasure you have forgotten. Until now, you have lived like a traveler. You believed in the path ahead. You loved truth, loved knowledge, loved experience. You are one who has been blessed by Jupiter, carrying the ability to connect with grand truths and life philosophies beyond borders. But after the age of 45, when you have traveled far enough, you begin to feel instead of simply knowing. You intuit what is right, even if no one taught you. You see omens, in dreams, in the eyes of others, or even in the quiet wind brushing against your shoulder. It is no coincidence that many Sagittarians after 45 become spiritual guides for others. You may not see yourself as awakened. You just tell stories, write a few lines of emotion, share deep experiences. Yet strangely, your words cause others to fall silent, to shed tears, to remember something sacred they had long forgotten. Because within you now lies not just knowledge, but wisdom purified by time, by journey, and by maturity. This is when Sagittarius connects with the 9th house, the house of faith, religion, philosophy, and life purpose. You begin to search for truths beyond the ego. I am not just an individual seeking freedom. I am a soul temporarily living in this world, learning to love, learning to forgive, learning to return. And the strange thing is, the moment you stop proving yourself, you are finally seen. The moment you stop craving distant places, you find where you truly belong, inside your own heart. Many Sagittarians at this stage begin the journey of meditation. They learn to sit in stillness. They hear the wind. They listen to the soul of others. And sometimes, they become healers without needing a title. Spirituality for Sagittarius does not come from imposition, but from true experience. From wounds that once bled, now transformed into light. After the age of 45, Sagittarius becomes a rare symbol. One who has walked the world with a heart, and returned to themselves with light. Have you ever wondered? Why not at 30, not at 35, but only after 45 does Sagittarius begin to listen to the spiritual call from deep within? The answer lies in the planetary cycles, the mysterious rhythms of the universe silently guiding you from within. From the lens of ancient astrology, Jupiter, the ruling planet of Sagittarius, is the symbol of expansion, faith, light, and knowledge. Throughout the first half of life, Jupiter acts like a generous teacher, encouraging you to venture into the world, to experience much, to fail without fear, because every step is a lesson. But then comes a moment. Saturn appears. Not loud, not hurried, but full of authority. The planet of discipline, soul lessons, maturity, and karma begins to touch your path. And at the age of 44 to 45, it returns to its original position, bringing with it a soul cleansing. This is not punishment. This is a purification of the soul. For Sagittarius, who always believes in freedom, this is a difficult turning point. Because you must stop. You must face the things you always rushed past. You must learn to live with questions that have no immediate answers. But it is also thanks to Saturn that your inner light begins to rise. Not dazzling like fireworks, but steady and warm like a sacred candle in an ancient temple. At this point, Jupiter no longer leads you outward, but teaches you to turn inward. Into the world of stillness where all great truths begin. You begin to understand. Freedom is not just movement, but release. Light is not only what you see, but what you become. And truth is not found at the end of the road, but may reside in the very breath you are taking right now. You find yourself no longer rushing. You choose a life of depth. You look at everything through the eyes of someone who has journeyed far enough to know. Everything you once chased after was always within you. And in this time after age 45, the universe, through the planets, opens the grand door of awakening for you. If you dare to step through, life will never be the same. You are no longer merely a seeker of freedom. You become freedom. You may think. Spiritual awakening is a grand event. A moment when light shines down from the heavens, or a mystical voice speaks in the night. But for Sagittarius, the journey begins more quietly, more gently, but deeper than any journey you have ever taken. And here are the signs that you, a Sagittarius, are truly being awakened from within by the universe. 1. You begin to withdraw from noise without feeling lonely. Before, you were the soul of every party, the light of every trip. But recently, you only want silence. Not because you're tired, but because you are listening to the whisper of your inner world. You choose stillness not to escape, but to communicate with the deepest part of yourself. 2. Your dreams become vivid, symbolic, and full of emotion. You dream of oceans, of doors, of ancient temples. Of strangers whispering words you do not fully understand, yet your soul resonates with them. These dreams are no longer unconscious. They are messages from deep within the soul, from the spiritual guides you are gradually connecting with. 3. You sense the energy of others more easily than before. A handshake, a glance, a passing phrase, you know more than what is being said. You do not read minds. You read energy. And you begin to realize that everything around you is frequency, is vibration, and you are changing that frequency. 4. You crave things that are old yet new. You are drawn to astrology, tarot, religion, Eastern philosophy, energy healing, Reiki, the law of attraction. Not to find a new belief, but to reconnect with something within you that has always known, but had been forgotten. 5. You forgive more easily, let go more quickly. Wounds that once made you rebel, once pushed you out into the world, now no longer hold you captive. You understand that everything that has happened served your journey back to yourself. 6. You see the world with eyes of love, no longer judging right or wrong. You realize that everyone is learning. Every soul has its own path. And you, the one who has gone the farthest, are becoming the one who understands the most. That is you, Sagittarius, after age 45. No longer running to find light outside. Because you have found the light within. Did you know? The adventurous instinct in you, the one that always urged you to leave, to go on, to explore, has never truly disappeared. It is simply evolving. After age 45, when journeys out there no longer make your heart race as before. When the calling from within becomes clearer than ever. You realize. The greatest adventure in life is not going somewhere you've never been, but seeing something you've never seen, right inside yourself. This is not surrender. This is soul maturity. As you begin walking in the spiritual world, you realize. Every thought is an arrow. Every feeling is a sign. And every choice, even the silent ones, creates a magnificent inner journey. As a Sagittarius, you do not lose your spirit of conquest. You simply redirect it from the material world to the invisible one. Where unopened doors await, where unspoken questions reside, and where gifts are reserved only for the brave. You begin to make pilgrimages, not to sacred sites out there, but to the sacred sanctuary within your own heart. You begin to write, to share, to guide. The words you speak are no longer just knowledge, but experience refined through time and awakening. You no longer need to prove anything, because the light you emit is enough to silence others. In astrology, Jupiter, your ruling planet, is a symbol of spiritual elevation, of deep faith. When you combine the light of Jupiter with the maturity of Saturn, you become your own teacher. At that point, you no longer seek a destination. You become the journey. You no longer search for the light. You are the light. And that light does not dazzle in a blinding way. It is warm, healing, peaceful, and makes others want to draw closer. You begin to see life through the eyes of a soul who has walked through the darkness and carried the torch. You inspire younger souls. You heal simply by being present. You do not need a title. You do not need applause. Because you know. The true journey has begun, and it is right here, right now. If you are still listening at this point, then I believe your soul is ready. Ready for a journey with no map. No plane ticket. No luggage. Only your open heart, and the light within you being lit. I want to tell you, Sagittarius after 45, that you are not late. You have not missed anything. You have arrived right on time. And the moment you are living now, is the beginning the universe has long awaited. You have lived a life with no regrets. You have laughed loudly, loved fiercely, explored the world with radiant eyes. But now, a new journey is calling you, the journey home. And home is not on any Google map. Not in any country, any land. Not a place you once visited, but a place you once left behind. Home is within you. There, the Sagittarius child who once dreamed still lives. The Sagittarius soul once forgotten in hurried travels still breathes. There are wounds once hidden behind laughter, and desires quietly set aside to stay strong. Now, as you sit in stillness, the universe comes to you, not with thunder, not with fireworks, but with a whisper. You no longer need to go far, because everything you've ever sought is already here. You are the light. You are the teacher. You are a vital piece of the world, simply through your authentic, awakened presence. You don't need to become great, because you already carry a universe within you. A universe of compassion, of intuition, of deep understanding that only one who has walked through fire can possess. If there is one thing I hope you carry with you after this video, it is this. Do not fear going within. Because the deeper you go into your soul, the clearer you will see the world. The world needs you. Not the loud, busy, dazzling version of you, but the pure, ripened, inwardly radiant version. The Sagittarius who has walked through fire, through darkness, and still carries a burning heart. And if this touches you, leave a small commitment below. I am ready to return to myself. It is not just a sentence. It is a prayer. A signal sent to the universe that you, radiant Sagittarius soul, are ready to step into your final and most profound adventure. Perhaps life is not measured by how many places we've been, but by how many times we dared to look within and touch the most sacred truth of our soul. Sagittarius, you are the symbol of light, of freedom, of endless movement. You have lived a radiant life. And now, after age 45, you begin to live a deep one. No more running. No more searching. Because you now understand. Freedom is not on the distant horizon. Freedom lies in the heart that accepts itself. Wherever you are in this journey, just beginning, feeling lost, or already finding the light, remember, you are not alone. Many other souls are walking quietly beside you, each in their own way, but all in sync with the same cosmic calling. And if you are hearing these words, then maybe you are the one meant to light the way for someone behind you. I wish you, courageous Sagittarius, a journey home that is gentle, awakened, and filled with light. See you again in another journey, when your soul is ready to go deeper once more. If what you just heard made your heart tremble in a silent rhythm, if you feel something within you awakening, stirring after years of silence, then know it is not a coincidence. There are no coincidences in this world. Only soul appointments that arrive at the right moment, the right heartbeat, the moment you are ready. If you are a Sagittarius beginning the inward journey, comment below. I am ready to embrace my own light. This is not just a declaration. It is a promise to the universe. A proclamation that you are no longer hiding, no longer lost, you have begun to return. And if this video touched you, leave a like, a share for another Sagittarius you love. Because light, when shared, multiplies. Remember, what you give from the heart, the universe will return to you with grace.